Welcome to the hottest grappling show in Arizona. The Valley is home to an amazing grappling community. Join us as we roll through the top jiu-jitsu schools in the state. Our goal? To highlight incredible instructors, their academies, and their amazing journeys through life and jiu-jitsu. It's not the destination, it's the journey that counts. Welcome to Rollin Through the Valley. Here, rolling through the valley. Here we are at Bad Aces Martial Arts in Coolidge, Arizona, and with me is Professor Russell Woodrome. Russell,
yes.
Excited to have you on the show.
Thank you for coming.
I love this name, Bad Aces.
Yes, yeah, it's kind of a homage to World War II vets. Ace pilots that fought in the Navy. Whenever they shot down 10 enemy pilots, they would be considered an ace, and then 20 enemy pilots would be considered a double ace, so on and so forth.
So you were a veteran? Or?
No, I was not a veteran. My grandpa was though in the Navy, and so that's kind of a homage to him. And then on my wife's side of the family, her family owned a grocery store. It was named Ace Grocery. So we kind of combined the two. It has really nothing to do with cards, but we kind of play off of that and have some fun with it. But it's kind of a spin on words. We kind of have fun with it.
So cool. How long have you guys been open?
So we've been open for a little over a year and a half now. So
nice. Yeah. Well, again, excited to get to know you. I was here last night. You guys trained super hard. We've seen you at the Arizona Jiu-Jitsu League, and so excited to be here. So let's get straight into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So 40 years old. I've been training jiu-jitsu for about 16 years. I started out just north of Houston, Texas, under the lineage of Carlos Machado. Like I said, 16 years ago, specifically under one of his black belts named Alvis Solis, and then future on down the line with a guy named Roy Davis. Yeah. And then did a brief stint with Gracie Baja for a little while because I was working back and forth in California. Nice. But we landed out here in 2018 and really found a home with Ethos and Jay Pages.
Yeah. What brought you out here though? Why Arizona?
So my full-time job at the time, jiu-jitsu at the time was just a hobby for me. And so a full-time job brought me here. I was working with Liberty Mutual in Chandler. And so moved out here, took the job, and really fell in love with all the jiu-jitsu scene out here. And
so you left all that behind to open up this school. So this was your dream.
This was our dream come true, absolutely. Wow. Family dream. So my wife and our son RJ, he's been training since he was 5. So it's a dream come true for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the entrepreneurial side of everything. So is this something that you always wanted to do?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
We found that if you're doing something that for the money, sometimes you don't get the money, but if you do something to make a difference, then the money usually comes behind that. You know? And so we wanted to do something that helps to shape character in the world and try to make this world a better place. And so I found jiu-jitsu was one of the things that kind of helped me to understand life a little bit better, and we'll get into that later. But I think it's tremendous for kids especially.
Yeah. So working at Liberty Mutual must have been like the catalyst for you, because you had to have hated it in order to leave that behind.
Yes.
And start something completely new.
Absolutely. I was getting to the point where I was about ready to choke somebody, so I had to stay on the mats for that.
Yeah. Okay, so you've been open for a while now, and you have a lot of students, which is amazing.
Yeah, we're up to about 130 members right now, and still growing. So it's coming
along. And you guys are doing really well in competitions.
We won the Naga Team Trophy in January, partnered with Ethos and Jay Pages, but it was definitely a good run so far. We're excited about the growth for sure.
So tell us a little bit about your competition experience. Do you still compete?
I do still compete. I competed in January, and then I'm supposed to compete in Naga September 6th coming up in a couple weeks. Nice. I hop out there maybe once or twice a year and just try to keep the team motivated, and it helps me to keep my goals in line and keep pushing myself as well, for sure.
Awesome, awesome. What does jiu-jitsu mean to you, and how has that shaped your life?
So it's funny to say, but I started training when I was 25 years old, and jiu-jitsu was one of the first things that taught me how to take an insurmountable task, something that seemed impossible, and break it down into those small goals that could be achieved, and then get the result that I wanted at the end. So whenever I started down that road, it really had to take an understanding in that regard. So I was like, yeah, this it had me hooked from day one for sure.
Nice. Do you have any sort of goals as a professor? Like, because well, you're basically pretty new, but what are your goals?
Definitely, just to impact lives and continue to try to have people get attracted to the sport and see it grow, and see how many lives that we can impact in a positive manner. That's the number one thing, right? I mean, competitions and all that is great and it helps you to push yourself, and I think a lot of people need that. But just to have that impact in life and be able to share this, especially in this community, a lot of people, they drive 45 minutes to an hour just to get here because we're right in the middle between Phoenix and Tucson.
I do the same. Yeah, so, you guys are like in the middle of nowhere.
So there was nothing out here. A lot of people want to train, and so it's good that we could offer that for them.
Yeah.
So.
What are like the nearest schools around here? Do you know?
The closest one is a Warriors Guild, which is about 30 minutes towards Casa Grande. But I've heard a lot of good things about them. Never trained there or anything like that. But we have people that drive from Arizona City, from Phoenix, you name it. So it's pretty good to see. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background in competition.
So in competition, so that's a funny one actually. So my first competition, is that where you kind of alluded to? So it was a very humbling experience to say the least. So what got me into jiu-jitsu, my cousin had told me about it, and he was like, it's a really great way to lose weight. He had lost some weight, so on and so forth. And so we had started training in his garage, and he was just a white belt. He had only had like 3 or 4 months of experience. So we bought some mats online. We were watching YouTube videos, and honestly, I was a big dude. I thought I was pretty good. I signed up for my first tournament, not having a coach, not having a team, and went out there and tried to jump into a flying triangle like a total spazzy white belt, and I ended up breaking my collarbone and dislocating my shoulder. But in the process, no, please laugh away. But in the process, I was served a very large piece of humble pie and realized that the team matters. I mean, you can't just watch some videos online and expect to understand the jiu-jitsu at all. You have to train with experienced guys. And so immediately upon my recovery, I went out to the local jiu-jitsu gym and signed up and never looked back, But yeah, so I would advise anyone watching this video that definitely don't just train jiu-jitsu in your garage only. Try to train with experienced people. Go find you a gym
learn the hard way.
Learn the hard way. Absolutely learn the hard way. And I'm not too little of a man to admit it either. I mean, that was a tough time, and it was good to recover from that and understand that and learn from that. So,
what is your mindset going into a competition?
So I would say mindset going into competition is rack up points, but try to get the finish, right? But be humble along the way. That's kind of the thing, right? I mean, if you have losses, that's okay, right? I'm a big baseball fan, and I don't know if you follow baseball, or some of your viewers might, but in baseball, if somebody bats 300, that means like 3 out of 10 times when they go up to hit that they're going to get something, And so jiu-jitsu is a lot like that, right? I mean, only 20-30% of the time does the move you're trying to hit work, but when it works, everybody's like, oh, he's so good at jiu-jitsu. It's like, no, you've tried it 1,000 times, and we've got it to that percentage. So that's kind of always been really cool, transferable.
And what about your preparation leading up to a competition?
Preparation leading up to competition, for me, it's trying to cut weight, get in shape, eating healthy, trying to get in extra sprints, running extra, just trying to stay focused on the goal at hand, all the while understanding that there's levels, right? I mean, I may be competing at black belt, but we've got guys competing at white belt, and so we just have to understand to get them through those ranks. That's my top priority. I mean, I'm out there to have fun, and win or lose, it's fine for me. I think that my students get more from my reaction to a loss versus my reaction to a win, and so I think that's kind of a coach's job, not to lose, but to show your students that it's okay to lose. Right, it's okay, and you can recover from it and come back and win the next time.
So you don't push competition in your school. Is it like a requirement to compete at the school?
No, it's not a requirement to compete at this school. We have several people who do compete. At Naga, we had like 25 competitors, I think, in January.
Oh wow!
But yeah, it's not a requirement. I push people to just better themselves. We call it the 1% rule. I'm sure you've heard of it. Yeah. But we just try to be 1% better than the person you were yesterday. And in my mind, that's you're competing with yourself, right? So as long as you're doing that, you're headed in the right path.
Yeah.
That extracurricular competition where you're going against people who are just as skilled and you want to test yourself, that's great as well. But as long as you're doing that 1% mentality, I think that's key for personal development for sure.
So what is the physical training like leading up to competition for your students here? Like how do you prepare your students for competition?
Lots of sprawls, lots of burpees, bear crawls, you name it. We've got all kinds of workout routines that we put on different songs and do different exercises too. We'll run sprints behind the building in the evening classes. Got that from our Ethos counterpart actually, so we kind of stole that from them. But yeah, we try to put in the extra work when we can. I mean, we're here 7 days a week. We have classes here.
Yeah.
So we have 4 different coaches that'll come in and coach, including myself as being the main coach here and the head coach. But yeah, we try to offer our students the ability to train every day of the week. We want it to fit their schedule. And so we understand most people in the sport are not full-time jiu-jitsuers. They have other jobs. Yeah. And so we want to be able to work around that and give them an avenue to also compete.
And you also go over like the rule set, the point system. How do you do that?
So we go, in today's world, we go competition to competition. I mean, if it's IBJJF, then we're kind of, we have a pretty standard rule set, obviously. But so many tournaments are a little different. Naga's a little different, so on and so forth. So for each tournament, we'll print out the rule sets. We'll have everybody come in for open mat. We'll review that. We'll go over any questions they have. We'll talk about what is stalling, what are these things, so they'll have an understanding of it before they go out there. So we're not just, per se, just releasing them to the hounds. We can give them a little bit of heads up and an understanding of how it works. But we go tournament by tournament.
How do you handle like the weight cutting part of it, like with adults and kids?
So, I encourage most of my competitors to try to go in at a natural weight, right? I'm a little on the larger side, so I try to cut weight to get in better shape, obviously leading up to tournament. But especially with the kids, I'm just not, there's some coaches out there that are different mindset, but I've just never been one to yell at a kid and say, hey, you need to lose 5 pounds by 2 weeks, and just treat kids like that. I kind of want them to have fun, and then I eventually see that over the course of time, these kids will come around and they'll start to understand that, hey, I'm only 3 pounds over in this weight class. I could cut these 3 pounds, and then you start to see that better self of them shine out. So after the tournament, we'll have those conversations and stuff, but I try not to push them too hard in that regard, because I don't want them to get discouraged with the sport. I had the luxury, I don't want to mention any names, but one of my coaches along the way had some students of his that he pushed a little too hard, and they backed away from the sport, whereas I thought they had tremendous talent, and that if they would have maybe been handled a little bit different, and not all the students,
makes all the difference.
But I think each person's a little unique, right? I mean, there is a general, approach to coaching, but some people have their own unique avenues that we all have to kind of traverse as a coach.
So, what are your thoughts on competition, and do you think it's for everyone?
So definitely it's for everyone. I think it is definitely for everybody. You just, I think we got to pick the right tournaments. Some tournaments are a little better for newcomers, right? They're smaller venues, so on and so forth. I like to tip people's toe in the water per se, rather than first tournament being like the Worlds or something, and, very intimidating walking into like that. Especially with the kiddos, I found that to be a lot of shell shock kind of syndrome when they walk in those bigger arenas, So I like to kind of traverse that like that. But it's definitely for everybody. I think it's key to compare yourself and try to better yourself in that regard. If we sit around on the couch all day, it turns into a bad scenario really quick. So it's good to be out there on the mats and competing, absolutely, for sure.
And what advice would you give to your younger self if you could go back in time? Jiu-jitsu, life-related, whatever you want.
I would say advice to my younger self in jiu-jitsu would be to take it slow and tap early and tap often, and that would help you to protect the longevity of the sport. I don't have any prolonged injuries, but I've been on and off the mat with shoulder injuries, things like that, and so just play it safe. Don't worry about winning or losing, especially the first 2 years. Just think about learning. That'll help you to grow really fast, and work from bad positions, right? I mean, being a larger guy, I had that curse of being a larger guy where I could put myself in better positions, but then I wouldn't know what to do. And then when I got pinned down, I couldn't get out of those positions. And so I challenge all my bigger students in here to always play from their back and try to get good at getting people off of you first. That would be the #1 thing. And I think just staying safe, keeping elbows tight, and just have fun.
Nice. So you've been open for a little while now. So do you have any goals for the school? Any goals for your students? Anything exciting happening here at Bad Aces Martial Arts?
So yeah, we've got big goals. We would love to, we have plenty of space here. We could tear down walls and upgrade and make the mats bigger if we need to. So we definitely want to grow to be the biggest, nicest gym in Pinal County. That's our goal.
Awesome.
We definitely have some big stuff coming up. We're going to have Mason Fowler here for a seminar October 5th. So that's really exciting.
Nice.
He's the current UFC BJJ 205-pound champion. So it's really awesome to have him here. And so our students are super pumped up about that. We've got the Veterans Breakthrough coming up, as well as the Spartan, Naga.
Nice.
We kind of try to keep
Lots
the tournaments
happening.
Pretty stacked. So yeah, we're busy, and yeah, we did summer camps during the summer for the kiddos, and so now it's good to be getting them back in school and getting back in the competition routine now. So yeah. That's about it.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Very nice getting to know you. Where can people find you on social media?
So we're at Bad Aces AZ, and that's on Instagram as well as Facebook, and then badacesaz.com is our website. And on that, you can reach our affiliates as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Russell.
Thank you for coming by.
All right.
Absolutely.
Perfect.